So how do you learn from every conversation? So instead of rambling on, I wanted to kind of give you the skill. Uh, I mentioned earlier that my main way of learning about this stuff is to talk to people about it. But that comes with its own problem. How do you learn from random people? As the scientists say, they've got biases. Just look at this bias measurement tool captured in 480p by another bias lens. Clearly, you can't learn anything from biased things. That's my takeaway from this photo. um, the couple ideas that help you learn from kind of random people. The first is that in order to get a better theory, all you need is something more reliable than your current theory. So, if you don't know whether you're on the north hemisphere or south hemisphere, it's like if you have literally no idea where in the universe you are, learning you're on Earth is a groundbreaking discovery, right? The less you know, the easier it is to learn. And so if you go look at people's experiences, you can learn actually, you can get 80% of the way there, even with kind of fuzzy measurements. So that's something nice to know. The other thing about to note here is that people understand far more than they have words for. If you ever hear someone say it depends on the context, well, they can't tell you, the answer, quote unquote. They can't give you the one sentence. They can tell you 3 to 4 stories, which kind of capture everything they think matters about the situation, right? They can say, well, if you do this, this will happen. If you do that, that'll happen. And there's actually this one weird thing which happens if you go to the moon on a blue day. It's like blue moon. It's crazy. So if you ever hear someone say it depends on the context, just ask for stories. The stories tend to have a lot of weight. And the last is now you know some emotions that can help you search. If you feel confused, go back. What triggered it? What's in conflict? If you feel surprised, what was the surprise? Why did you expect something different? If you feel worried, what are the consequences? Why does this answer have the potential to change something for you? So here's the technique. So this is kind of like justifying that you can do this. And this one technique is kind of your shield, right? So here's how you figure out if people are accidentally lying to you. And we've actually already talked about it a little bit. But basically, whenever you hear a generality, anchor it with an example. So generalities sound like always, never, all, sometimes, often. So as an example, I might say, if someone asks, oh, where do you work from? I might say, oh, I always work from home. And if you want to test that theory, because I basically just gave you a line of best fit, all you have to do is ask, when's the last time you didn't work from home? And you know what I'll say? I'll say, actually, now that I think about it, I went to the office last week for board game night because I was moving towns, and so I went to go in. And actually, I think I probably go into the office about once every other month for some sort of event. They have to kind of drag me in with food and the chance for human interaction. By connecting theories to at least one example, two things happen. One is you get a single data point, so you can test how accurate the line is. But the more important thing is that you get a story. And a story you can ask a ton of questions about. So you can figure out what happened before, what happened next, what happens if you change this detail. And so you can get a lot of experimentation done just with past experiences.